tap on wood, that we will not have any more problems in this game. But we've got cleared in the top side. Tian, the def still weren't through. He's still down for the count, and now he's into the bottom side of the map.
Okay, so we did see the time move forward just a little bit. Obviously, Tian is no longer in the fountain. The play is developing right now.
Yeah, the ram goes wide, but cleared here as well, trying to punish this Gangplank and Yagao following up. However, Zoom tanking the last tower shot, holding the door open for the rest of his team to pick up the kill on Gangplank.
Very easy execution there from Jingdong. If you look at the top side of the map, it's completely covered in Jingdong wards, and that's probably because of the kill on Sejuani. Tian was able to place all of his wards. He's opting for a more map control type of build with the double wards and the green upgrade for his jungle item.
Yep, and Xiao finally being punished. This makes me so... You don't even understand, Clement, how happy this makes me feel, because we've seen so many Gangplanks last picked into Ornn. They try to punish, or they don't even try to punish, and Ornn maybe comes out with like a 10 CS lead, and then Gangplank goes late game and one-shots the whole team. It's like, why does this keep happening? But finally, JD are punishing.
Yep, and that's just kind of a snowball effect from the mid lane starting out here. What really should be worrying Suning right now is Yagao is able to leave lane whenever he wants to. You already see the Lost Chapter being built on her. He does have the lane priority and also a kill and an assist on his belt. This is looking very dangerous for Suning Gaming. And what's really interesting is that they're actually losing control of the top side of the map faster than they are losing control for the bottom side of the map. So Jingdong actually have to kind of make a decision right now. How are they going to cover both lanes at the same time? Because the #1 rule for any jungler in professional play is you don't play top side and bot side at the same time.
Yeah, it's just a little too much to do all at once, to be honest. But Tian is going to try and continue farm out the rest of his jungle. It's very close to level 6. And this should be level 6 for him indeed. So now he will be able to look for a counter gank maybe, or even force open a gank on a different side of the map. Though he is still hovering around this top side.
We can definitely see Jingdong Gaming gearing up for that Infernal Drake, a very high-value Drake early on into the game. We see Kha'Zix is already invading. He's trying to dissuade Sejuani to coming back to this side of the map. So if Tian is on the top side, then they get a free Infernal Drake. Also, Yagao's movement in the lanes also is heavily signaling this. You can see him slanting onto the right side. So if he manages to land any damage on that rise, he can instantly head toward that Infernal Drake and get that objective.
It's a lot of just small things right now, so Gao is looking just to cut Knight off, but unfortunately wasn't able to do so with the bubble, and cleared Warpath towards the top side. Most likely to give the blue buff over to Yagao, and also the fact that he showed his face means that Tian now knows that his blue buff was stolen away. Now, if you take a look at the bottom side of the map, that's a lot of vision from JD Gaming. Pretty much just lit that whole area up like a Christmas tree around that dragon.
Oh, Gangplank coming in. They're trying to dissuade the fast push.
Yeah, well, he's popped his ultimate. I'm not sure if he's coming in as such. Though Loken will burn the flash here, and honestly, Suning going to be very happy about that.
Very safe play there. They did see the Sejuani and the Rise in the mid lane, so they understood that was only a 2v2 scenario, but still opted to give up the flash there. So this is, I feel like this is actually pretty good play from Jingdong. They just want to avoid like any unnecessary deaths that would disrupt their tempo in the game. If they can hold kind of how the laning situation as it should be, then they should definitely come out ahead.
Normally when you see an exhaust, it's like, an all-in situation, but in Zoe's case, it's just something she picked up off the floor.
Yeah, and she probably just used the redemption as well. We did see her pick that up. Knight getting bullied out of the lane. Can't really blame him. The enemy just used 2 extra summoners.
Yeah, not really his fault, but at the same time, I would say it's probably a team fault, because leaving this Zoe open makes it very difficult in the laning phase. And I thought isn't Rise meant to do okay into Zoe?
Well, not if the Zoe starts with a kill and an assist. No.
Okay, fair. Yeah, very fair. But yeah, there are meant to be answers now.
And also you have to remember that this Rise did not get his blue buff. It was taken away by Clid.
Yeah. Yeah, that just happened and cleared. Actually, punishing the top side as well. The Ornn Horn is sounded, and that's another very easy kill onto Xiao. Another punish onto the GP.
Jingdong Gaming basically telling Suning, we can play any side of the map you choose. You know, you go ahead. You can use all your wards bot lane. I'm just going to go top and kill your top laner. It doesn't matter. You're not even going to contest.
Yeah, Zoom is building a massive CS differential against him and Xiao right now. Almost 40, actually, in that top lane. It's going to be absolutely massive. And Xiao, he's not even got his Triforce. Usually at this point in time, I'm just like, why does Gangplank lose lane and still get Triforce at 12 minutes? But right now, he's actually starting to struggle just a little bit because of so much CS that he's missed.
Yeah, and this is not something we've seen from Xiao so far. Like, he's a very good laner, likes to play into these fighters, and seeing him get camped like this is very uncharacteristic of him. I really think you have to give props of how well Jingdong is playing into this gangplank.
Yep.
We've seen them do this in the previous series as well, so this is definitely something they've practiced very hard.
I mean, frankly, Zoom is just going to be unkillable at this point in time. He gets First Blood Gold on Tower, and he got those multiple assists on top of that. He's got the Iceborne Gauntlet, and he's got Mercrez. Like, he's just absolutely gigantic.
Yeah, and the big problem here for Suning Gaming is that Yakao and Zoom can opt into that 4v2 bot lane at any point in the game. You can see Zoom summoners in the top lane. He hasn't needed to expend any of his summoners, so he still has that teleport up.
Yep. He just needs to switch into it, and he'll turn up in the bottom side, especially when Infernal's going to be a thing very, very shortly between these two teams. Clid and Tian just spotting themselves in the river, just kind of passing ships. And right now, it's all centering towards this bottom side. You can see actually Suning Gaming are the ones who are pushing up here. Knight's going to get put to sleep, and Yagao going to come in with the punish here as well. Drops him to below half, with Clid chiming in there as well. However, Fury, Yoon right on his heels, and Clid goes into the stopwatch right now.
Timing.
In comes the Ornhorn, trying to disengage. Good block out from Yoon as well, but it is enough to get Clid out alive. And unfortunately, Knight's on the front lines, and he will fall.
That was a very risky play from Suning Gaming. What they were hoping on was Zoom was so far in his lane that he wouldn't be able to teleport and interact with the Infernal take right there. But unfortunately for them, we could see that Zoom did in fact notice, and he came down pretty fast, was able to influence that game, and a great Varus ultimate there from Loken, catching out so many people, especially Knight.
Man, imagine body blocking for your support there and still losing half your health because your Gao's just huge.
Yeah, this is not looking very good for Suning Gaming. Traditionally, Knight's counter pick has been the Kassadin, but this time he just didn't opt into it. A good poke out here from Yagao secures them the Infernal Drake.
And we'll take a look at this, and Clid goes into a stopwatch, but everyone's camping on top of his corpse. I want to see what happens tonight because he just gets trapped. Ah, he stopwatches.
Yeah, he wanted to avoid the Varus ultimate, but even though he was able to avoid that, he was kind of still stunned in the position.
Roosted himself down. And JD, they have 4 kills, an Infernal Dragon, first Tower Blood as well. First Tower Gold, rather. 3,000 gold advantage. And this early game is just all gone over to JD. And I can't help but think, Lemon, you know, the fact that we look towards Suning's composition, I see double tiers on that side. I'm like, It's almost like we're going for a scaling comp.
Well, they are crying right now, if that's what the tiers
thematically appropriate.
Are. If that's what the tiers indicate. This is a scaling composition. They need to wait for a while. The Gameplank needs his items. The Ezreal, he does have his Iceborne Gauntlet, so that's gonna, that's gonna equalize the lane quite a bit. But overall, Suning Gaming, they don't have the firepower to fight right now, and it is about holding on.
Trying to find this gank from Smith lane onto Yagao, but it's in fact Knight who's always gonna drop here. Yagao doesn't follow up with the auto attack, which might have actually been the kill. Even though this guy knows his own strength at this point in time, puts Sejuani to sleep. You have a Paddle Star as well, mate. And Tian and Knight will both have to go back.
And I guess they're regretting that letting Zoe through the band pick by now.
Yeah, this is what regret looks like, ladies and gents. Tian stops recalling. He will go into the bottom side. He does have red buff, so he'll get a lot of his health back. But in the top lane, all is pushing Xiao back to his inner tower. And Suning, this just isn't their usual MO. This isn't generally what they go towards, because there's a reason why they're the fastest team in the league, in the world, is because they go for these early game compositions, they try and snowball, but this is not what we're seeing in this game, and it's going to bite them.
Yep, Suning Gaming, they love their counter picks. Of the 8 games they played, they let Knight counterpick mid. Unfortunately for this game, I feel like it was completely out of his hands.
Knight trying to get out. Good flash out, actually. Just managed to take the dropship out. And Knight will go back towards the mid lane. So that was very well played.
Gameplank ult going to come down, defend that very crucial mid tower. If that mid tower falls, the bot lane is pretty much donezo. There's nothing they can do there. Zoe can just roam down. So a very good Gameplank ultimate coming down.
On the flip side, though, JD Gaming playing exceptionally well. Like, they know exactly what to do when they have this advantage. They know how to exploit it. They know what to do next. The steps are all there. Everyone collapses at the same time. Like, it is looking exceptionally good from them.
Yagao said in my interview with him that his teammates really push him to play the Zoe pick. They're really comfortable with it, and this is one of the picks that he does practice the most on. And you can see it's not just an individual skill thing. They're very familiar with how the composition works and what points they can pressure. So they're just rolling away with the game.
Yeah, pretty much. Yagao's got an extra flash in his back pocket. We are looking towards the Herald now as well, courtesy of Clear. Looks like Yagao's going to go up there, at least towards the top side of the lane to support him. And Knight just constantly being battered down by these Power Stars. The constant barragement, honestly, from Yagao. Has to play this toxic game of dodgeball in mid lane.
A bit unfortunate for for SNG right now, because the second Drake is going to be a Mountain Drake. That's another very good Drake to accelerate the game pace. So it's going to be difficult for Suning to continue this turtle.
Yeah, because he's got the Eye of the Herald here, ready to drop that down in the lane. Top's already dead, so most likely going to be looking towards the mid lane. You'd have to assume here, Clement.
Yep, Gangplank is never going to come down anywhere on the map aside from top lane. He's just going to stay there until he gets his 2 items, and then maybe he might walk out, but pretty much Jingdong is going to fight with an extra player in Zoom.
Tian has been spotted in the jungle, so he's going to lose all his health here. Klid and Yagao finding him isolated. In comes the Ornhorn knock up, but he should be able to get... Oh, it's interrupted! Knight unable to get out alive, and this time he dies, and this should be mid lane tower falling.
Yeah, and this is just what we were talking about. Gangplank, he has no incentive to come out of his top lane shell. Jingdong, everywhere else on the map, is going to have an extra person in Zoom's Ornn, and they made very good use of it.
Everyone turning up to the mid lane at the exact same time. Yagao's going to take a bunch of damage, but don't worry, Janet's here with the AoE heal. Another slam charge coming in from the Herald. Going to take a swipe as well at that tower, and the members of Suning Gaming try and defend. This will be taking the tower down to about half, and JD say, that's pretty good for today. Let's go back to base and spend all our spoils of war.
Yep, the next objectives for Jingdong Gaming is basically go home, get all your items, push in that bot lane, maybe chunk someone out, Mountain Drake, and then bot lane turret. So it's a very clear game plan for for Jingdong Gaming. It's up to Suning to kind of catch him off guard. See if they can use Tian's ultimate, the Glacial Prison, layer that with Xiao's Cannon Barrage. He still does have that up, did not use it in the last fight, so he can still impact the bot lane that way. But it really does come down to kind of this Mountain Drake in this bot lane. Yeah. If these 2 objectives both go over to Jingdong, I feel like it's lights out.
And Suning Gaming, it's going to take them so long to really turn on 9. You look towards a Rise like, okay, when's he scaling? He's got a Rod of Ages, but needs a couple more stacks on that. The tier isn't loaded up just yet. Top lane, he's got his Triforce, but usually Gangplank's like on 6 items right now at 17 minutes. Like, usually you expect Gangplank to be one-shotting people. So it feels like it's going to take a while for Suning to be able to actually get that 5v5 off.
Oh, Gangplank's not one-shotting people. Zoom's going to one-shot him.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that item.
2 items?
Yep.
At 18 minutes? Absolutely upset. He's farming past a minute as well. 190 CS at 18 minutes. Abyssal Mask and the Iceborne Gauntlet.
Well, apparently Zoom doesn't need Kleptomancy to be a thief.
Yeah, apparently not. And to be fair, he does get a bunch of extra gold as well from the Inspiration Tree, but this is still really, really good. 5-0 in this game, and JD, they're looking towards the Mountain Dragon now. You can see the wards are starting to be set up. Looks like Crab, however, has gone over to Suning Gaming, so you will see Cleared as he walks into this Dragon Pit.
Another very safe objective for Jingdong Gaming coming out here. Suning Gaming do have an angle from the top side, but it doesn't look like they're willing to contest at this point. They do ping out Zoom, so they know he's not there, but still not wanting to risk it.
Now, Zoom has also picked up his teleport on top of that as well, so now he's able to get into those fights as soon as he needs to, but I don't even know if he's burnt a summon in this game yet, to be fair.
He definitely hasn't. He's just saving up on those shards at this point. Very good play coming from Tian. Can they get something here?
Well, they're going to try to. Yoon pumps the ultimate. Loken, good ultimate in return, locking them all down. Plus the Howling Gale, and oh man, are you kidding me? Right in the middle of this gank as well. Yeah, we're going to have ourselves a pause.
That definitely looked very weird from Tian. Did not actually use his Glacial Prison.